That'd be interesting seeing Celine Dion in fronting a metal band.
So Celine, if you're tuning in, we're ready. We have the heavy metal challenge.
I think she watches every episode actually.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Kevin McLaughlin, and this is
Paul Robertson, and this is the Riffs
and Rhythms podcast. How you doing?
Are we back to doing this backwards again?
We did it backwards, but that's all right.
It's okay, because, sometimes it's about the riffdom.
Sometimes
it's a beautiful blend of riffs and the rhythms.
It's that hardcore rehearsal we always do.
We are so professional.
Absolutely.
So
how you doing, Paul?
Doing good.
It's been a busy month. Here we are.
I know we're
just past the halfway point in December,
and we're about a week away from Christmas.
Have you got your Christmas shopping started yet?
Nope.
Me neither.
Nope. So, and apparently there's a big issue with the post office and issues with getting packages, and so I don't know. So maybe I may not get anything actually in the mail because we all order stuff from Amazon now.
Yeah, I was just talking about my first Amazon Christmas. It was good. I bought all my stuff from a local department store, and then I realized, oh no, I got to box all this up and send it. That's never going to happen. So everybody was giving me a hard time for not shopping on Amazon, so I did it, and I was like, you mean all I got to do is check this box and they'll gift wrap it?
Oh.
And they send it right to you? So then I rebought everything, had it shipped, and then brought everything back to the store.
Nice. I may actually this year start shopping by visiting people in my neighborhood and checking out their porches.
I've heard that's a whole trend.
Yeah, sure. Why not?
That's what the kids are doing on TikTok these days.
Porch pirating, I think they call it.
Yes.
So, yeah, there's lots going on. As you mentioned, we had just recently, even in the last week or so, was the Treasure Coast Blues Society Christmas party.
Yeah, we had a great party, and the new T-shirt design got unveiled. Very cool.
That's right.
Very cool T-shirt.
T-shirt designed by our good friend there, Mr. Brad Brock.
Mr. Brad Brock, and that's a new record. You mentioned his name just a few seconds into the podcast.
Brad, you can stop watching now because your name got mentioned, so you don't have to wait all the way to the end.
We
So.
give you a night off.
Yeah. So a lot going on. Actually, I just on a actual odd chance, I saw somebody post on Facebook, a friend of mine, and we're going to talk to our guest about this person because I think he knows this person. But they posted they have an extra ticket to go see John Bonham. Yeah, that'd be awesome to see John Bonham.
No,
right?
I don't want that ticket yet.
The Ouija board, but yeah, Jason Bonham's show at the Hard Rock. So
Jason Bonham at the Hard Rock.
Yeah, so I haven't seen him perform. I seen him perform with Sammy. Remember at this summer?
Yeah,
right?
we saw him over the summer.
And then so great seeing the Led Zeppelin show, and again, just awesome to see a son of one of the names or greats, and drummers, and just like Tito Puente the summer, earlier this year we talked to. So it's interesting aspect, but I had a great
season
time.
is the return of the son of the drummer.
Yeah, that's right. So it's isn't that Easter when they return?
Speaking of drummers, we've got a longtime good friend, a gentleman that truly, if you're into drumming, if you're into metal, he needs no introduction. Ladies and gentlemen, Mr. Patrick Johansson.
Oh, thank you so much.
How you doing, Patrick?
Doing great.
You look great. I've known you for, I don't know, decades, and you haven't aged a day, man.
Oh, I aged.
How do you do that?
He's Swedish. That's why, man. The Swedish don't age, man.
Use the Axe rock and roll shower every day.
Oh, that's got to be it.
Yeah.
All right, well, hey, we're going to hit up Access for sponsorship now.
That's right,
That's the one. Axe is great.
He's got no stress. Look at him. He hits stuff all day, every day.
I know.
You get it all out onto the drum skin.
Yeah, the stress is unnecessary.
Yeah.
He looks good for 65.
Yeah.
I know.
Oh, he's not 65.
Oh,
No, why is
78.
He's 32.
78.
Yeah.
So, hey, Patrick, thanks for coming on the show
Thank
here.
you, guys.
And we were talking a little bit before the show was, I as Kevin mentioned, I probably have known your name for decades, but just this is the first time I've actually got a chance to meet you in person. I've seen you play it. We were talking about pipers and
many places I played.
Yeah, there isn't a place.
time.
Yeah, isn't a place you probably haven't played in South Florida.
It is places I haven't played.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a place in my hometown in Sweden called Rådhusgården, mean like the courtyard, like the courthouse yard or whatever you could, if you direct translation. And I always wanted to play there, and I never was allowed. I don't know, because they thought my band, they were too loud. There was always something going on. And right before I moved to America, then we almost had the gig there, and I never played there. It's something I always wanted to do.
So I remember a few years ago, you were excited about going back and performing at your hometown.
Yeah, it's special when you grow up somewhere far away and you go play there.
Yeah,
that's special.
But you didn't play in the courtyard?
Nope, not in that place, in the town. It's just a bar, but it was a nice place, and it was a lot of the Swedish bands in the late 80s and early 90s that came there and played, so before they got famous, so they played there. So it was a nice place outside, but people complaining about the loud sound and, the usual.
Even in Sweden, people complain about the loud music?
Yeah, I guess the Vikings left a long time ago.
They don't remember what it,
They left a long time ago. Yeah, I heard they're good with the boating.
Yeah, they were. Too cold.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, so let me ask you though: how long have you been here in Florida or the U.S. or how'd you end up in?
No, I played drums with Yngwie Malmsteen, and the first tour we did was South America, but we used to rehearse in Miami. And that was like 2001. I went to South America, I think, but I moved to Palm Beach in 2003 or 2004. So 20 years in Palm Beach. I used to live in Lake Worth. But right on the beach there behind the Gulfstream Hotel. It was nice.
Okay.
It was so nice beaches there, So how can you not like that?
Well, I got to go from Sweden to. I mean, there are beaches in Sweden versus Florida, right?
Yeah. No, Yngwie, when we played a lot of other places. In the first real American tour was in 2003 with him, and then I played here in Palm Beach, and I thought, holy shit, man, this is such a beautiful place. It's like the most beautiful place I've ever been to in my life. And I remember going out of the bus. We played Kravis Center Halloween night in 2003, and then I walked around. When I woke up, and I walk around, and I walking around, I see the stores, and I go down to the water. What is this place? And then for a few weeks after the tour, I'm thinking, where was that place? And then one day I walked down there again by default. Oh, there it is. So I can't. It's my favorite place. Like Incy, you felt it. Like this is the nicest. It's not too big and it's not too small. It's still a big place. They have an airport, and so it's easy to travel from here. But it has this like the what do you say? Small town vibe, Yeah.
It's not big city like Fort Lauderdale, Miami, but yet it's still large enough that it's got a downtown area.
Yeah. No, that was it's amazing, an amazing place to be. Happy to be here, Florida.
So did you connect with Yngwie in Sweden?
Actually, I met him in Sweden.
Okay.
And
you both he's from there too, right?
Yeah, he's from there. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So I met him there at a concert. His concert. His drummer was sick, and my friend had been called in to help him to fix the guitar. Pontus plays guitar in a band called Hammerfall now, and he was there helping him with the guitars. And I gave him a CD of my old band Stormwind. Give this to Yngwie if he needs a drummer one day, right? And then after the show, Yngwie's wife April came and said, "Are you Patrick?" I said, "Yeah." "Well, we need to talk to you." So what did I do now? And I didn't know. I didn't understand. Okay. So then he came out, and said, "Listen, the drummer is sick. Can you play tomorrow?" I said, "Yeah, I guess. If I have to, I'd love to play with you, but I would like to learn the songs first, maybe." But anyway, so I went home, and the next day we talked on the phone, and the drummer was better. But anyway, so then I guess a few months go by, and he called and said, "I listened to the CD, and if you want to come over to Miami, we're going to South America." So to tour all those countries. It was the first time I played was in Monterrey, Mexico. I think it was October 22nd, 2001. I think was the first show we did, and I did with him in Mexico, and it was amazing.
Wow!
And then we did all South America and Japan and Europe and all that stuff before we did America. So America was later. So, but when I came here, to be with them, what do you say? That show in Kravis Center on Halloween night was special. That was special.
I've grown up. We're about the same age, and a good friend of mine when I lived in New Jersey. He played guitar, and he was like so into Yngwie, and it was just kind of like, and I told him, I was like, "Hey," I says, "I'm gonna be interviewing Yngwie's drummer."
Old drummer, not anymore.
Okay, well, yeah.
No, but
It's on the resume.
Yeah, it's on. Yeah, I played 14 years. I played with him. But it's funny because the original drummer was Anders Johansson. Anders and his brother Jens was the original drummer. So people thought I was related to him. To them, are you the younger brother? Or some people probably thought I was here in America that I was the what do you say they mix up the name. Are you Johansson? Mm-hmm. Oh, I saw you in '84. In '84, I was 8 years old. You know? I don't think so.
I'd say everybody's named Johansson.
Yeah,
In this
it's 1 million people named Johansson in Sweden out of 8 million people or whatever. So. And Scarlett, of course.
Oh, right, yeah. That's right,
Yeah.
Ex-wife, ex-wife.
Oh, okay. Oh, okay. So you're married to the Black Widow?
Yeah. No,
No?
I'm just kidding.
Okay.
But it's funny. People think, when you have the name.
Yeah.
Are you guys related? It's 1 million. No.
Oh, right, yeah. It's
Yeah.
like,
Literally, there's 1 million Swedes with the name
Yeah,
Johansson?
I think so.
Wow.
Yeah. I don't know, but I guess, it's the most common, one of the most common.
Is it?
Anderson Johansson means son of Johan.
Yeah.
That's what it's... Anderson is son of Anders, so, Svensson, son of Sven. So it's kind of...
They were getting busy.
Yeah.
Yeah, Joe.
They were getting busy, having a lot of kids.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I guess
A lot of sons.
Johan was busy.
yeah, so they were, remember, they were plundering and all the other stuff, right?
Yeah, they were spreading the love.
So let's back up, though. So how did you get into drums then and music?
So when I was a kid, everyone, you have to play an instrument in school. But even before that, I saw Kiss on TV. We had 2 channels, channel 1 and 2, and my friend's dad had tapes on videotapes. So we watched videotapes because it was only 2 channels, channel 1 and channel 2 in Sweden, and we put on the VHS tape, and there was the Kiss, some live clip or something, video. I Was Made for Loving You or whatever, Hard Like Woman, whatever it was, right? One of those. So it looked like, but it was a music video before MTV. Mm-hmm. We had to get MTV. We got cable in '85 in Sweden, so that's the first time I knew what MTV was. But before then, it was if someone had a videotape with garbage quality and whatever that was, they put on about. And I knew then, even when I was a little kid, I knew that I want to play drums. So I got a drum kit for Christmas 1980, and that was it. And I never stopped playing.
Very cool.
Nice.
Yeah, since then. Put him on the ping pong table. There's like a drum rice. And Grandpa under with flashlights making light show, put on a Kiss tape and bang around. Kiss Alive, Alive too.
That is awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
But, if you think about it, even if the record came out before a few years earlier, the second live record with Kiss, when you open up, when you see all the fire on the stage, what little 5-6-year-old kid wouldn't want to be in a band after see that, right?
Exactly. Right.
Yeah.
That's the international language of happiness, because you don't know. You don't really, you don't know the words. You don't know what they're singing, Detroit Rock City or whatever, Love Gun or whatever, right? But you is something, it talks to you. You look at it and you hear the dun 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 dun, God of Thunder. How can you not like that? How can you not be dragged into it? You're sitting looking. There's almost like that thing came alive, like the magic book. But you open up there and there it is. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah.
Kiss Alive too.
Yeah, that one.
Yeah.
I think that when we were talking about like how we used to listen to music, like we did a show about like the cassette. I had a cassette, the Sony Walkman, and a Discman, and they actually brought in an album. That's actually was the Kiss Live 2 album.
You stare at the
It's
album
like,
art.
Yeah.
Listen.
It's a religious experience.
Yeah.
I'm happy to say I found out there, my youngest trying to get him into Christmas and things, and said, and I was like, this is great because again trying to get connecting with your kids, or I don't know if you got kids,
Yeah,
but
I got a daughter.
it's
named Shandy after a Kiss song, Unmasked. Same record I got the year I got the drum kit, the new Kiss record, Unmasked. They come with a poster with the Take the Masks Off, the cartoon album.
Yeah.
Second song, first side, Shandy. And I thought even then, if I ever have a kid,
that's the name.
That's the name of the kid, Shandy. It's awesome. All my life I knew if I have a daughter, that's going to be Shandy.
So if you ever have more kids, is there may have a Beth and a Christine
no, I don't have any more kids.
Okay.
So there was only one, So that's how it ended up being. And so that was the no question about that, right?
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Let me ask you. I'm going to ask the tough question now.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I may know the answer, but okay. So, multiple drummers in Kiss over the 40-year career, 50-year career, right? Who's the drummer? Who's your Kiss drummer?
To me, this is weird because, of course, Peter Criss is the original drummer. Without the first 4 guys, there would have been no Kiss.
Right.
But if it would have been the first 4 guys only, there would have been no Kiss either, So when Peter left, Eric was a good replacement. Mm-hmm. When I was a kid, Eric Carr, first posters, except the one in the record for Christmas that year, the Unmasked was Peter on it. But the when you buy them at the store, that when I was a kid, was Eric Carr was the drummer, and they still had makeup. Eric Carr and Ace Frehley, then with Vinnie Vincent. Mm-hmm. And they had this magazine in Sweden called Poster. And every magazine had a poster of Kiss in it. It was just folded posters, 4-page posters, like pin-up posters, like you put on the wall. And so we go buy them at the grocery store, those posters, and they were since the 70s. So they just came. I just saw the end of that at a Kiss special 1980 when they were in Sweden, and the Kiss special 81 with all those things. So Eric Carr was very special, and that's probably why I started playing drums. Because of him when you were a kid. It was all the magazines he was there, and on the records, the Creatures of a Night with the, that was the thing. But I love Eric Singer too. What he did a great job. And I think there is not one Kiss drummer. They needed all 3 had a purpose in the band for the reason.
Right.
All 3 amazing drummers, and they did the very good job with Kiss. Because the Live 3 is great too. The way Eric Singer played on Live 3, more his own style on the old classics make them sound a little different. Every time you change the ingredients in a band, they're gonna play it a little different. Vinnie Vincent play a little different, and it's great. So it's the same great songs with different versions. So I like him all. I saw the last show last year in New York a year ago, and it was amazing. To see. So I'm happy with any lineup. I don't have a preference.
Right,
honestly.
right.
I'm glad the way it started for me, and how it ended. I think the last show was awesome. It was great. And I think it was very cool because they play songs from the whole career, from the whole catalog. So I don't have a preference at all.
Okay.
The preference is the songs, and the songs are with a band like Kiss, or any big band. It's not really how it sounded when we saw them 83 in a football stadium, right? It's what we think we saw.
You're exactly right.
And if you go back or listen to a bootleg recording, or you go back and really heard what happened, your memories and emotions are enhanced. What happened. So when we saw the last Kiss concert, and a lot of my friends from Sweden, those emotions and feelings, they were replicated. And that's why I think that was a good ending for the show, because, and it's not what we thought. It's not only what happened at the show when we were kids. It's what we think happened, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's an illusion. It's a little bit of the Chris Angel mind freak, right? Because we're so attached to the music. And any band like that, right? Any big band, any big movie you saw, Star Wars, if we saw it now, would we really tattoo Vader on our arm? Probably not, right? But when we were kids and we went to a movie theater with Grandpa, see Empire Strikes Back, how can you, the big spaceship coming over is magic. It was a magic time.
Yeah.
And the Earth is 4 billion years old. So I'm just happy I was here when Kiss was on the radio and Star Wars was in the movie theater. And people were nice to each other. It was a great time,
Yeah,
it's a good point.
It sucks if you're a caveman, I guess, because you missed out on it.
You missed out. Or if you lived in a country that didn't show Star Wars.
Yeah.
Or in Germany when Vader spoke German. I saw a video once. I bought at the truck stop when I was a kid out playing, because I traveled when I was very young in Europe before I played with Yngwie too. And we bought VHS tapes to watch at the hotel. And I bought Return of the Jedi in Germany. And he spoke, wo ist dein Vati, Luke? And he's speaking German, right?
That's going to be scary as heck. That's going to be scary as fuck, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's like a long time ago. It's like 35 years ago. But still, I never forget, man. Oh my God, it's Vader. I wonder what happened to that tape. That's probably worth a lot of money.
Yeah, right.
Darth
Sprechen Sie
Vader
German,
speaking
not your
German.
father.
That would be scary.
Yeah, that was really weird. Maybe they should have bought Freddy Krueger too.
Wow, yeah.
I don't know. The German accent is scary regardless, right?
It just makes a different presentation of the feature movie, right?
Right,
yeah. You're not really expecting that one.
Yeah.
Wow. But anyway,
So no, that's very good. Yeah, I think we're all 3 of us, because we've talked a lot about Kiss and Kiss influence on Kevin and
That's
me.
what got me started in music is Kiss.
Yeah.
Right. Like you said, kids loved it. Parents hated it because there was some,
No, my parents didn't hate it. They were my grandparents and my mom and even my dad. Even if I don't seen him in a very long time, but there were never ever any real. with the music. They were just glad I liked something. They saw, oh, he likes it. Okay, so buy him records for Kiss T-shirts for Christmas then. Easy gifts, right? So they were even teachers in school, as substitute teachers, they had some rare, different pressing from different countries, right? Different album cover or some fan club book or something from Argentina or whatever, and then that's very rare. And I kept it all my music all the music memorabilia. I have it all. I shipped it here to Florida.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So, I have every little pin, every little book, everything I ever acquired. I never got rid of it. And then it was because everything has a story from that stuff. All my Star Wars figures still have them too. Kind of like the 40-year-old virgin, but the 48-year-old virgin, I guess.
Oh, that's wild.
Collecting action figures.
Oh, that's going to be an interesting clip there.
Yeah.
That's a good clip.
Yeah, it's a good one, right? Rocket firing Boba Fett is still the holy grail, right? Everyone wants it, but no one can afford it. Can buy 2 more houses instead. But he's out there somewhere.
You're kidding.
Hey,
yeah.
Hey, why don't you come over to my house? I've got the Millennium Falcon prime condition. Pick up the chicks, right?
Good, yeah.
Yeah.
We used to ask if they want to see the wood and hand carved snare drum. We used to with the code for it, and I just gonna go show her the wood snare drum. Woody. It doesn't translate in English, but it was all had those codes. So
That's awesome.
Very cool.
I show her the snare drum.
So let me ask you then: is how you mentioned we were talking a little bit about Brantford Highway, right?
Brantford Highway,
Brantford,
yes.
right? Yeah. So and that how. Apparently, that's the only place you record your drums at. Is that there's
No, it's not the only place,
Okay.
but it's my friend Dwayne Hart, and without him, I don't know how to record the drums. I'd be in real trouble, right? So a lot of times, he used to have a studio in Davie, and it's funny story when we go with Yngwie for the American tours. We used to sometimes get gear from SIR when people come in, or someone has it, or we needed extra gear or whatever. And then we go to SIR. The guy who worked at SIR was named Dave Thomas, was a bass player in a band called Five Skin, which I think is funny. If I would have been in a band called Foreskin, but anyway, so he said, "You want to come see my band?" And we became friends, me and Dave. And then one day he said, "Hey, my friends, we're looking for a drummer, and we have a nice studio. Come and check it out." And I went up there in the place, and they were really good players. It really took me by surprise. But holy shit, those guys can play. Because a lot of people say, "Oh, we have a band. I work at the SIR, and I have a band." Okay, no problem. Sometimes it's good, but a lot of times it's not that they're not good players. It's just that they have the other side of the idea with music, right? They work so much setting up the show, so they don't have time to have the band. But he had time to do both. And he introduced me to Dwayne and Tom, the other 2 guys of that band that became Kindlin later. And they've been doing for more than 20 years now. So, yeah. They started also in 2004 or something. And then I had a recording I needed to do. So I said, Dwayne, I can help you record. Okay. So he started recording drums, and it came out so good. The sounds in the studio there from that old Pearl Export drum kit in the barn. Very simple setup, but it was good. Good room and a good mic placement, and he knew how to. It doesn't matter how fancy equipment you have if you don't know what you're doing. It's very easy to screw up a sound, right? Especially live, because you can't fix it. It's now or never, right? People have one kick drum, forgot to turn on the other one, or they have the keyboard patch so loud, or backing tracks that's blazing over the real band, so you can't hear it. It can be real nasty. But he knew if you have the ears and you have the hours put in, I think that's the most important,
That's right, because I guess let's say you very small 4-piece drum kit could sound monstrous.
That's
with the
usually
right
what I
tuning
record.
Right.
I usually record a kick, snare, and 1 rack and 1 floor, and only crash and ride and hi-hat. 2 crash, 1 on each side when I record. Lately, I've been doing that. It's real fast. I like to have 2 kick drums so you can control it, because you can get it a little different and a little easier if it's fast
With the
stuff.
double pedal.
Yeah, instead of the pedal. I like 2 drums, so it's better. But if I send it out and I don't know who's gonna mix it, I just do like a session, a few songs, and I just do 1 pedal, because I don't want to take the chance that one is not coming through. It's harder to play, I think, because the pedal with the link, maybe it's in my head. It feels more natural with 2 drums because it's exactly the same motion.
Right.
And then also they don't never sound exactly the same. But when you hear the it's kind of little bit off, it's okay.
Right.
As long as the volume and the punch is the same. If it's one a little bit snappier, the left one.
Right.
Maybe, you know.
And I guess you're right. It's the pedals, same, 2 beaters, individual, 1 bass drum, but yet maybe it's because of feeling of you're sitting.
Yeah, but it's also
the way
it's hitting on the same. You're not sitting 100%. If you're sitting, when I have one rack tom and a floor tom on each side, actually, also, so it's all symmetric. When you sit on the double pedal, it's not symmetric, and also when the left pedal, sometimes when that link gets weak, it goes deeper. It's not exactly the same motion. It's the same response. It's very minor. You get used to it when you sit down for 10 minutes just and play with it. But I like when you have to take the balance. So you're gonna take the chance when it goes to the whoever is gonna mix it. Because the last record I did in Sweden before I moved to America, Stormwind in 2000 or whatever it was, 2001 maybe, and then they had the one song, one kick drum was missing. And before that, I would always record with 2 kick drums. I never ever, oh no,
what happened?
But as the time went by, the double pedals and the hardware got better. So you buy a new C-Link they do for the Pearl Demon Drive. That is, there is no difference really with that one. Then it's very good, pedal. But I think the big drum head and the big drum, if you have a big 28-inch or 26-inch, you want the Bonham sound. Then you kind of have to have 2 because it's going to be so much air moving. So sometimes, boom, next hit doesn't cut through.
Right.
It's not enough for the air to move around. Or if the sound guy don't know how to set the gates, also.
Yeah.
Sometimes they say the gate, the release on the gate and the reverbs and all the compression, gate compression, all that stuff I don't know anything about. But Dwayne does. And that's why we recorded the drum set, Dwayne's studio in Lake City, Florida. I gladly drive 6 hours there and sleep on the couch and drive home when I'm done with the recording instead of go somewhere else. But Power Station here, I've done a bunch of records there too. That's good too.
Cool.
Yeah, Paul knows what he's doing there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, I like Paul. He's good.
Paul is great. They're all great. Rob, all of them are
They've
great.
got my favorite console of all time in there.
Yeah, 1 of 7.
There's only 7 now?
Yeah, I think so in America. I think so.
Oh, yeah, that's the best sounding console.
Yeah, but that's depends what the budget the band has, Depends what the budget. If they have the budget, I don't mind Power Station one bit. It's a different, and if they're available, sometimes I call Rob and they don't have time because they're a very busy studio, and so they should be. It's an amazing studio.
Yeah.
So if I have to do something over the weekend and he can't get you in, you have no choice, right? So it is a balance if the budget or the thing, what's going on, what you want to do, and what the sound they're looking for too. If it's something very big, that is a death metal record or like a fast metal record, it's not as important to have a big drum sound as the more slower stuff, because you can't all attack is all close mic anyway. But if you're gonna have the room like, now you have to be in the room.
Yeah.
The room is important,
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they've got great room mics in there, and that room is really good.
But then it's another thing people forget. It's actually who's playing it too.
Yeah, well,
That's the most important. That's
great sounding snare out of time.
No, but you have to hit the drums same volume. You have to figure out what you want to achieve with the drums. How you want to do it. And it's not that it's right or wrong. It's what you want, how you want it to sound. I learned the same guy that referred me to the Yngwie gig long time ago, Pontus. They got me the job, Pontus Norgren. He also told me on those early Yngwie tours were in Japan, early 2000s, and again South America and all over Europe and playing all the time. And he said, don't hit so hard on the cymbals. What? Hit the lighter on the cymbals, and you can hit the drums as hard as you want because it doesn't matter. But the cymbals, you don't have to dig in too hard.
Yeah, they're gonna do a lot.
No,
on
because
their own.
it bleeds so much, especially the hi-hat. And it's more hi-hat than it is snare drum. It's no good. So you have people tell you, and I listen. I was lucky when I was early on in the early 90s. I had a death metal band in Sweden called Without Grief. That's my favorite record I ever did. The second one, Absorbing the Ashes. That's the absolutely best record I ever did. And engineer was Jacob Hansen. Now he does all the Volbeat and bands like that, and Pretty Mates and a lot of big bands he do. Udo Dirkschneider did, and he's a very accomplished producer. But he taught me a lot working with him. And the sounds we got in Abenraa, Denmark, that's unbelievable. All acoustic, just in the right room with the right guy and tune the drums like this and put this drum. And I remember me and him going to buy drum heads at the music store. said, but I have drum heads. No, but I want you to use those drum heads because it's going to sound better. Don't worry. I'll pay for the drum heads. We're going to do this right. You know, you're going to be happy later. And I am happy 25 years later or whatever.
So what's the name of that album?
Without Grief is the name of the band. And the record is called Absorbing the Ashes. And that's the best drum sound I ever had on a record.
All right.
So,
The official endorsement
Yeah,
from Patrick.
no, that's it. That's Pearl and Siljan and Absorbing the Ashes. You know, that was the one. I did everything the way I wanted that time. No one, he helped me to guide me through. But I took my own drums instead of using the drums in the studio. A lot of times, we have a drum kit. No. Then I decided at that time, I'm going to use my own drums, Pearl World Series. That's my favorite kit to record. It's so good, so I brought it here from Sweden. It cost $3,000 to put it under the plane, but I didn't care. You know, it's like whatever.
Right.
Doesn't matter. You know,
Wow.
it's the drums I like. You know?
So you endorsed by Pearl?
Yeah, Pearl. Yeah. But those I brought myself when I was a kid in Sweden.
We noticed it in the video.
Yeah, and I like Pearl. But they helped me with the gear.
Yeah.
And that's thanks to Eric Singer. He helped me set that up, actually.
Okay.
That's how nice guy he is. He's like an unbelievable good friend.
Right.
And
He's a longtime Pearl guy.
Yeah, but he's also one of the nicest people in the world, you know.
Yeah.
It's like unbelievable how nice, you know,
That's
person, you know, just to help you out like that, you know. What do you say? Thanks. It's not enough, you know.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah.
know, I know it's like there's a privilege, unbelievable privilege, you know.
Yeah, because you don't find very many people who have made it to that level.
Yeah, yes, you do.
You know,
Yeah, I think so. Nico, what a wonderful guy too. Nico, or here, your local
That's
Jason,
right.
Jason
Yeah.
Newstead here,
Right.
good friend, and
Yep.
Yeah,
you know,
you don't get that far.
no, you don't
being a
get that
jerk.
far unless you're nice. You know, most people are nice.
Yeah.
You know, most people are. You know, and it's sometimes people get a guy on a bad day. And then they make, and then people want the hero to be mean. It's almost like a kind of sadomasochistic fantasy or whatever you want to say. I don't know if I said it right, but you know, it's almost like
You love the hate. You love the hate them, right?
Yeah, they want the like to complain. Oh, every band sucks, but look at me, you know, kind of attitude, you know. And they came from the grunge attitude with Kurt Cobain and those guys, you know. You know, that was the anti-hero. Oh, I don't want to be here. I don't want to be a rock star. Every kid that picks up a guitar want to be famous.
Yeah,
right?
exactly,
I want to
yeah.
be acknowledged at least. You know?
Right.
You know, then maybe later they find out they want something else. But when they came out, that whole 90s grungy thing, and I remember that there were no, I don't want to be famous, and they tried to have a message. The message should just be to rock and roll all night and party every day, right? Best message ever, you know. And the message we heard for 50 years.
That's right. It's still good, right?
Yeah, it's still pretty
yeah.
good. And in a galaxy far, far away is pretty good too, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah, no, but
The
but
best
that's
would be if you could rock and roll all night and party every day in a galaxy far, far away.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
How about that?
Yeah, it would be
soon
good.
maybe we can. You know,
That's
soon.
right. In the Cantina bar.
Yes, we'll get
That's right,
we'll get a
yeah.
gig in the cantina bar.
Yeah, that's a good one, you know.
Yeah.
Or at Jabba's palace.
I think you're right. Yeah. I don't know. I'm gonna watch out for that trap door though. So
Yeah, that's good. Rancor.
Yeah.
Rancor is the bouncer at the bar.
I don't know. Yeah. Speaking of talking about watching movies in the '80s, right? Again, you're a kid, you know, and your Kevin was already, 45, I think, back when we were kids.
Yeah.
And but like watching the slave girl or Princess Leia in the slave outfit, it's like, oh, this is what we're into now. Is a little S&M.
Listen.
Uh-oh.
That was a good one. You know, that was a good one. You know,
Absolutely.
I think any guy around the age of 50, from 45 to 50, everyone have seen Return of the Jedi, and every guy realized that the Swedish sword had more than one function after that thing, right? You know, so that we realize, it's something special with girls, right? You know, realize that she's
Right.
very pretty, right?
And then when you get married or get a
Yeah.
girl, you say, hey, can you dress up like Princess Leia and put some Cinnabons on your ears?
Nah, that wasn't a good costume. The one at Jabba's palace, that was the one.
Okay, yeah, right.
That was the one everyone.
Yeah.
You might know this because you're a big fan. I'm a big Star Wars fan as well. Do you guys know what the music that's played in the cantina? Do you know what that's called? George Lucas made a name for that.
Did he really?
It's called
Jedi Jazz?
No.
It's called Jizz.
No.
I'm not kidding. I'm not
No.
kidding.
Oh
not,
my
look,
God.
Look it up.
Yeah.
I swear to you, it's called.
Now I like
Jizz.
it even
Jizz
more. Now I
music?
like him even more. Now I like him even more. Now he's my hero, you know.
So wait, Patrick, look at the camera and say that you like.
Nah,
Like the jizz music? No.
I don't. No, none of that.
No.
It's not been talked into.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah. I've been talked into stuff before to say bad things, you know. Nah.
All right, well,
Shame on you, Paul.
Good.
So
Good chance. Good. Good try, good try.
So Patrick, we've got a little segment here that we talk about, and it's about road stories or whatever. It's I guess we're now calling this Reach Solar Tales from the Road.
This okay? Yes, this is the Reach Solar Tales from the Road segment. Cool.
So yes, so get your solar installation panels. Check out Reach Solar there. So this is a story from the road, something crazy that you're allowed to share in 50 states or
No. Listen, we spoke about Kiss. One time, I remember that same tour, the G3 tour, was Yngwie and Steve Vai and Satriani, 2003, the fall. We're gonna go there, and Yngwie gonna fly, and my friends come from Sweden to go see Kiss in Dallas and Texas or whatever. So I'm thinking, then for whatever reason, we're gonna take the bus from Miami, the band, and then Yngwie and his wife, they're flying. So we have the road manager and everyone else on the bus with the gear, and we're gonna drive over to Phoenix. Bus driver, I don't know what happened, but the bus driver, they're going to change driver for some conflict or whatever in San Antonio. And I think it's October 4, I think so, or 5. But anyway, so it's a Sunday. So everyone was sitting at Denny's eating, or IHOP or Denny's, and everyone has Kiss t-shirts. There's Kiss playing tonight because we're going to wait for 12 hours for a new bus driver. And I say, no. They played it last night here. What were they playing tonight? Oh, Houston. And I'm like, how far is that? Oh, it's only 5 hours away. We're going to go there too. Okay. So without thinking, without having a cell phone or anything that really works. It worked a little bit, the old phone. Still had a Swedish cell phone I use sometimes. And then I had one paid to go. You pay when you go in American that you put in money on it, right? The Verizon. And that never worked. But the old one.
Phone cards.
Yeah. But anyway, the prepaid Swedish one still worked sometimes. So I go to take a cab to the airport and say, hey, I want to rent a car. Oh, that's closed. The car rental place. Like, what? What do you mean? What are you doing? I'm going to go see Kiss in San Antonio, in Houston tonight. And he goes, oh, sorry, kid. No, how much for you to drive me? And the guy goes, what? So I give you $1,000, drive me see the concert, And he's like, what? Okay, so wait here. So he drops him off at the gas station, the cab driver. And he goes, I don't know what I was thinking, and he comes around. I got my own car now. Give me $1,000. I said, I'll give you 100 to gas up, and the other 900 when you pick me up outside the show and drive me back. Otherwise, it's gonna be real hard to explain. You're gonna, obviously sign a contract to do the tour and stuff. He'd be probably a lawyer calling mom or something, right? The career. I've been in the band a few years, but that will not be good now. It will not be good. And anyway, so I said, sure. So he drives me, buys me Subway. I never forget. We can have Subway. We eat the Subway, drives down to the show, pulls up right before they play. They have a first row ticket for $100 or something. I have a ticket. Oh, they're starting now. So I walk in, they start playing. Then when they were done, I walk out and I say, oh, dear God, hope he's here. And he's like, hoink, hoink. And he's sitting there waiting, comes up, drives back. And when I came back into San Antonio, the tour manager calls on that Swedish one. Where are you? You better be real close now. Coming right in there with all the merchandise. Yeah. Where you been? I've been to a concert. Where did you go? Don't worry about it. I hide in the bunk, And anyway, then we make it to Phoenix where the tour gonna start. Then Kiss is playing in Phoenix again. The first night we're not gonna rehearse or anything. We're just gonna set up. Everyone's gonna meet each other and hang out. And I went again. I just. But that time, Yngwie's wife, she knew. She actually gave me money to go. She said, do you want to go see Kiss? Sure. And then I come back and said, oh, my sister, she told me you already went the other time. Yeah, no, I went twice. Sorry. But it was, that's a crazy, funny story. I think.
How many times have you seen Kiss?
I don't know, almost 100 times probably. 90-something times.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But just that sometimes you don't realize what you gamble. You gamble the whole... everything on red, right? Because if that doesn't happen, if there's something goes wrong that's why they don't want you to leave. When I asked them, hey, can I just fly on my own? And it's a big tour coming up. It'd be a bad idea if something happens.
Right.
I don't worry about it. I do it anyway, It's like, and then there was never, okay. I remember coming back to all the shirts and they were, where you been? I've been to the show in Steve Vai, etc. And everyone just laughing. I guess you like Kiss? I said, yeah. Okay, hope we have a good gig, good tour tomorrow. And then no one said anything more about it.
That's funny.
Yeah, but that's one of those I think it's a funny. I never drank. I never done any drugs or anything. I never cared for that. I just play drums and be happy and go to concerts. But you only live once, so we better live and enjoy it.
That is true.
Because it can end like this, right? It can end in a moment. And many times we hear the stories, people unfortunately the wrong turn and you just run into a drunk driver or flip the car or an alligator eats you or whatever, right? You know, and so just enjoy it while we're here. You know, so I think that's a funny story. There's other stories that's not as funny, but.
That's to you are dedicated. That shows how dedicated you almost threw away all of that.
All of it. All career.
To go see.
Yeah, and 5 hours away.
Yeah, get in a car with some stranger and I had some.
5 hours each way.
Wait, hold on. You said you got Subway?
Yeah, he bought me a Subway at the.
Did Jared from Subway give you a ride to the?
No.
Okay.
This was another guy.
Okay, I was just yeah. Okay.
This guy's name was Inspector Callahan, I think, from San Francisco PD.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. No, it was a nice guy. You never know.
Yeah.
But you can tell when you go in the car, you can tell if the guy is nice, an older guy. You can tell. You learn quick when I traveled a lot when I was a kid. You learn. Sure, you can be wrong, but usually
you pick up on the vibes. Yeah,
you can pick up on the vibe. You know, what is this? You know what is not. You know, you can tell. Otherwise, and as long as if you're sober all the time, if you don't drink and do anything else that you're under impaired, then you can make a good decision. Best self-defense is to run away, right? And avoid the trouble. Best the awareness is the number one thing to be aware of what's going on. Best way to save money is not to spend them, right? So
that's true. Yeah,
it's not how much money you make; it's how much you spend.
How much you keep?
How much you keep. Better make. You can make. We make $600 an hour in Kentucky when we're playing, but you have to buy your own gas money, right? Go back and forth every night. You play there every night. It's no money left.
We would be in trouble then.
I would get an apartment in Kentucky.
No, I said on this trip there, as Patrick mentioned, it's smart to not drink, and not travel because your faculties is not with you. We'd be like, dude, where's my car?
Oh, I don't know. Well, my faculties aren't with me normally, so it wouldn't much matter.
You weren't supposed to do that.
That's
exactly.
That's one of the stories, one of many interesting episodes.
Very so cool. You've done a lot since you played with Yngwie.
Yeah, I played with other bands. W.A.S.P. in Pelletary, Steelheart, a bunch of those 80s bands. But Yngwie was good because I was played on the records and all that stuff. And that was why it was special. To be there. And I enjoyed their music. So that was a big part of my life.
Right.
Thankful that happened. That you had the chance to do that, and also to be in the. When it was real, he always played live. A lot of bands enhancing stuff live, but he never did. It was always the only thing there ever was the backing vocals on that Heaven Tonight we had on keyboard. So because it's dark, we go on the stage for encore for that song. And then when he played to the classical piece, he did a solo over the classical fugue. It's impossible to have the orchestra, but everything else was always live. Whatever he sing and play, we never the same twice, right? It was all 100% live. No trickery,
right,
was all, and that to me that was the most important, because you learn a lot from that.
Right.
And then he changed into listening and stuff, and he's obviously a very good guitar player, but he has a good ear for everything else, and also is good to play with because he was always nice when it comes to playing. He never stood on the stage and were mean to anyone or like that ever. Which I was surprised, but he was like, yeah, okay, good. Oh, that wasn't right. We do a little better next time. So he's actually a decent person, that people never, if they saw it, but they don't, because it doesn't sell records, right? Everyone would like to say something that's not nice,
right?
But there is actually was a lot of good memories and funny memories, right. And the fact that when we played, he was always wanted to rehearse and he was happy playing and he loved music. And to see other people love when everyone goes together and they love the music, that was great. Other bands played with. Later, other established bands, and they just go up and do, okay, we're good. And they don't have the passion. He has the passion and the thing. You see in his guitar case, he has a toothbrush and like a razor, right? And he carries his own guitar around. At least when I played with him, he had the guitar case and he walked around and it's the real deal. It's exactly what you see is what you get, right? And that's kind of interesting if you think about it, So a lot of people, he influenced a lot of people to play guitar. So it was great to play with someone like that. You learn a lot from that kind of musicality. That's such a professional.
So from that day one meeting at that show that you gave your CD that kind of led to all this, what was the aspect of, and we've talked and Kevin's talked about, and trying not to fawn over like starstruck kind of stuff.
No, but I was never a super fan of that. I like the music and I appreciate the talent. But it was never about that. I love Kiss, that stuff. But I'm not. I like to play drums too. And it was never about like, wow. I never thought like that because I was just. It felt natural. First time we played I'm a Viking in the Miami at the warehouse. I never forget that. We just go jamming. Because I flew over here myself and I didn't. Then I call him, hey, where you at? Oh, you go buy some potato chips in Sweden. And then, I'm already here, but I already bought the chips anyway. Because he's like, what do you mean? I'll see you tomorrow. And I'm thinking for a moment then, sitting in Miami, what do you mean? Tomorrow? Shit, because I never been, to Miami before. So what are you gonna do, right? If something doesn't, I guess you fly home next day, right? But you have to take a leap of faith when the opportunity comes, right? A lot of people, they can second guess it. I don't second guess. I do as good as I can. I know I'll never be the best drummer in the world. I will never be. There's plenty of drummers that's so much better, and you can never be. You can only be as good as you can be. And try to prepare as much as you can. And then be nice to people and listen and respectful. And remember one thing too. It's never been my name in the back of the band. It was always someone else's band that was there before me. So I'm just a drummer. But you can still do as good. You can do as good as you can. But I'm just a drummer. I'm not going to tell someone, we're going to play this song. We have to do this or that. Or get involved. Because it's not in my place to get involved. Really. When you're hired from another band, you have to remember those things. It's very important. Because they have a vision that they carried on. For many, many years before me, and in his case after me too, gonna carry on forever, right? He's still young and very successful. So a lot of those bands, they're gonna be. You do your thing with it when it's at the time, and then you have to you move on or you do other things or whatever. But you can never imagine that the thing is like the road is going where it's gonna go, right? You can try to rebuilding, but the road is gonna go. There's the bus gonna go that way.
Right.
We're going to Tampa. We're not gonna take a detour over Key West.
Yeah.
So people forget that sometimes. I think they think that they're gonna be like, oh yeah, but we have a band. Yeah. You can still have fun and stuff, and it's still a good time. But if someone is the boss, someone owns the name, and someone has a vision, what do you want to do? And they hire you to do what they think is necessary, and that's important to remember. I think to be respectful. Also, people go see the show, they see those songs, they want to hear the songs, so you're gonna have to play it kind of. When I play in a bar band, Kevin, I sometimes play not even remotely what the song is. I play the different songs.
That's how I met you.
Yeah, that's how we meet, and that's like in a way, I think that's funny when you play with friends around. But if you do a tour and people pay money for the ticket, and you have the same approach, it might not be so funny.
Yeah.
For you might with Celine Dion. I don't think I don't think the cab driver pick you up 5 hours away. I think he'll leave you. He'd be paid $2,000 to leave you behind.
Yeah, that'd be interesting seeing Celine Dion in fronting a metal band. I would live on whatever that Titanic song
might
is.
Be really good. Might be really good. Might be good.
That might
be the new Nightwish.
It could be. Yeah, that's right.
Oh, there you go.
Hit song. So if she's listening now. She should consider it.
Does she still live here local? I don't know. Did she? No, maybe she moved to Vegas.
So Celine, if you're tuning in, we're ready. We have the heavy metal challenge.
I think she watches every episode actually.
Yeah. We should have a King Diamond tribute. Merciful Hate.
Yeah, there you go.
So a real story by Titanic.
So I know we're kind of starting to get wrapping up, Patrick. Okay. Do you have somebody you want to recognize? An MVP. This is our House of Wine, Beer and Spirits MVP of the week. Somebody you want to recognize? Somebody who, whether it's the cab, your
cab driver,
the cab driver that saved your career,
or whatever you may have it. Somebody you want to recognize, give a shout out there.
No, but there's so many to think about. But I have to say, my drum teacher, Hans-Erik in Sweden, Hans-Erik Randin, he taught me everything. If he didn't show me how to play the drums and how to learn on the spot, and to teach me, give me the tools I needed to. Not to be amazing good drummer, just to be able to get through the night and to get from point A to point B and not get this. And also the thing with the business side there, as I said, that you remember who's the boss and that it's not your band, and you not come in and have this, you have to be respectful because people have a vision. He always talked about that stuff, and he taught me also all the rudiments, of course, but stuff like that. Right. To me, that's very important, But then it's also important, guys like Eric Singer, Nico McBrain, as good friends of mine, and also that how they are so nice and professional, and see them, how they act with other people. see Nico, how he acts at his restaurant every time, how kind he is to them. He take a picture with everyone, sign the picture, everything, and that, that's a role model how everyone should be, and most people are, those big rock stars like that, they are very usually nice people, and that's inspiring to see.
Right.
Was that probably the best surprise from all my life, that you travel so much and I played with all those bands like W.A.S.P. They were one of the biggest bands in Sweden, and then you get to play with them on different occasions. I never was member. I just, when they didn't have drummer, I filled in and played. First time 2006 and last time I think 2015. But again, to be able to play those songs and meet other people on the festivals in Europe and all that stuff, and meet them and hang out and hear stories, and the memories, and most people are nice people, and they're genuine nice people, and see how much we all have in common, and that's inspiring. If you ever could imagine that when you were a kid, the worst, almost every story is a good story. I have to say it. It's been a good ride. And it's always from the bar I played tomorrow till the arena I played 20 years ago. Or whatever. It doesn't matter. It's all been great. Different stages in life. Yeah, that's
cool.
That's
something. Yeah.
I guess.
That's some.
How do you say it?
This is good stuff.
How do you say it?
Yeah.
But the true MVP, that's my daughter, Shandy.
Oh, there you go.
Okay.
That's she's mad I don't play video games with her tonight.
Oh, sorry, Shandy.
No, she don't want to play. Maybe I'm mad. She don't want to play anymore. That's the best memory is playing Super Mario with her.
Oh,
she goes, wake up, Bowser.
I always had find Patrick, it was like with my boys, it's like I realize it's like I get sad that I no longer can beat them, and they have now surpassed me, and so it's like a proud dad moment, or like the what do they call it? The grasshoppers now become the master, or whatever.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
I have a good one. I have a good one. When we played the Zelda, was a new one, Link of the Past, I think. What's the one in the egg? The Awakening, I think it was called. A new one. She picked it herself in the store. Daddy, when she was like 6 or 7 years old, during the pandemic. I want to play this game, Daddy. It looks really cool. Link is in an egg. I want to play it. Okay. And it was a place, there was some guy, one boss fight, a little mini boss. I couldn't beat it. There was no way. I help her out to play a little bit if it's something hard. I can't do it. And I said, can I try that? I said, if you beat that boss, I give you $100. And she goes, boop, boop. And then she goes to go out, okay, Daddy, you owe me $100. I said, no, $100. So she made me pay her too. So,
Yeah.
Cha-ching.
Good job, Shandy.
That's what we do, but whatever. I had to pay her.
Motivation.
If I don't pay her, my word is worth nothing.
That's right.
So you want to play again?
She'll remind you forever.
Yeah. But she remind me still that she won.
So, that's pretty cool. So, man, this is time flying by here in this episode, man.
It is.
So, we got so much more to talk about, Patrick.
Yeah, that's
so
great.
Can you
come back another day?
Yeah.
Come back next week.
Yeah, come back next week, will you?
I'll come back next week. I'll be back.
There you go.
And you'll be back too. Mom and my sister that's watching, thank you for watching.
So it will
be Christmas Eve.
I know. So
no present for Christmas.
that's right.
That's right.
Remember that, King Diamond? It was a record, no presents for Christmas, with him and the reindeer on the front.
I had forgotten about that.
I don't know. I I've always heard, like, again, we'll talk a little bit next week about some of the names that you mentioned but even just the stories that before the internet of King Diamond, who he was and what it was all about.
It's awesome.
Again, nobody knows because again, there was no internet, and you just go on rumors or stories and
that
things.
guy, man, he was the best man. What a nice guy. Man.
The voice. Oh,
I just saw him in Vegas last week, and 2 weeks ago I saw him when was that? The 30th of November, I think I saw him. Yeah, that was the day. Yeah. So, and he's still unbelievable. The voice is like as good as it was in '86 or '87 in Sweden.
That's awesome.
At the ice hockey place in Sweden.
Oh.
A little warmer in Vegas than in the Sweden.
Right. I bet.
And we have ice hockey in Vegas now, right?
Yeah. Now we have ice hockey, but no presents for Christmas.
There you go. So, all right, well, cool. So,
see you Christmas Eve then. Merry Christmas.
That's right.
Hopefully you'll get some good gifts. So.
I'm hoping.
We'll find out.
Find out. So, all right.
So that makes this an episode, right?
That's right.
Well, all right. Hey, thanks, Patrick.
Well, thank you guys for having me.
Yeah.
Thank you, Paul, for putting all this together.
Sure.
We've got Devin over here
That's right.
over there on the aux.
Yeah.
He's over there sweating because the air conditioner went out here.
I'm
I
still kind
know.
of hot.
First world problems in
Yeah, it's
Florida.
the Jabba's Palace. In Jabba's Palace.
That's right.
Yes.
He's playing his sad music.
That's the requiem for the air conditioning fan
that's
belt.
the one, yeah.
So, all right.
So, well, hey, this is the Riffs and Rhythms podcast. This is,
Paul,
and I am.
Kevin.
That's right.
So don't forget to check out the Spotify, Apple, wherever you listen to podcasts there. Give us a rating, 5-star, hopefully, if you like this. And check it out on YouTube there, Riffs and Rhythms website. We've got some activity going on the old TikTok. Of course, we finally figured out how to work TikTok, and now the government's going to finally take it away, right?
Are they?
That's the story. So
Well, I better
see what
not do
happens.
a long-term ad campaign with them.
Yeah.
There you go. That's
Yeah,
the TikTok.
exactly. There's your
TikTok is
TikTok.
going to land.
Take a big dump on it. So
Are they really
yeah,
getting rid of it for sure?
they're supposedly they're pressuring it. So
It's supposed to be banned unless an American company buys it.
yeah, by January. So I think there's
Oh,
a
okay,
deadline.
yeah.
So, but we'll see what happens.
I don't know
So,
how you
folks,
ban software though. So I mean, how's that
They'll
actually
block-
gonna
I
play
I
out?
don't know.
We'll see.
Communist
They get
countries
blocked.
do it really well. So.
Yeah, well, right, yeah. We talked about this last week about the North Korean porn.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, North Korean porn. They show people who have food.
Do not come.
Yeah.
All right, let's wrap this show up here before Devin gets out of hand.
There we go.
So the ghost.
Well, thanks again. We'll see you next week.
Cheers.
Cheers. This ran too
Empty,
long.
yeah,
We-
empty.
we have to-
Cheers.
Cheers.
I brought my own. Huh?
There you go.
Can I
It's
get
a
mine?
Subway. Look at
Can I
that.
get mine? Yeah, Subway in honor of the